The challenge that we're facing is not understanding that context of hip hop, you know. That when a culture arises, what is it saying, you know? So it was an urban culture for the youth trying to express themselves, you know what I mean? And so because now we are in South Africa, we are in Joburg, in the middle of Johannesburg. We are Africans, you know. We need to, of course, we still relate to hip hop, but at the same time we need to come back to our own roots and address the problem of identity, you know? Because I think it becomes I don't know what's the proper way. It's not right for us to try to be like Americans in all manners, you know. As much as we might still be on hip hop, I'm influenced by hip hop mostly, you know what I mean. And from being influenced by hip hop, I wanted to really go back to my own culture and really, what can I say, decolonize myself and really go back to my roots. You see, those are the influence of hip hop. That's how it has influenced me. But I think most people, the way they're reading the message of hip hop, they're not reading it right, because you know, mostly what is happening now, people are emulating the American pop culture, which I don't think is proper in this context of identity as well.
If you look at that, most of that which the Americans are presenting as hip hop culture, those trends, they have been orchestrated, those trends, they have been designed, those trends, as to say, this is how you need to walk, you know, behave, dress, you see, of which, if you make sense out of that, they appear very boyish. Big man like that, you see, very boyish, you see, and it kind of take something away from them, you see, whereupon their boldness, you see, their kind of masculinity, you see, is being kind of what you can say watered down. You see, and they're using that even to influence, you see, in other urban zones, using mass media and the likes, you see, and especially mostly targeting African youth, you see, and this is what we see within the urban culture, you see. We see a lot of boyishness.
No, it comes back to, so to cut you, I think it comes back to that thing of a culture evolving. You know what I mean? Like, because I think that's what you're speaking about. You know, in the 80s, you know, that's how a lot of people were dressing anyway. Baggy pants and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And of course, the corporates did buy into it and they promoted that kind of image. You know what I mean? But in essence, I think it is supposed to grow, like, you know, like hip hop is supposed to grow. We shouldn't, like, for example, you shouldn't stick to the same image of baggish pants, this, that. It's supposed to evolve.
Can I add into that?
Yeah.
Let's look at Africa as a whole, okay? Can we not say that South Africa is, yes, it is diverse, but within that diversity, it's just made our identity more complex. I'm assuming if I went to Cote d'Ivoire, okay, I've randomly picked Cote d'Ivoire, and I'm like, let's go to Cote d'Ivoire and see how the hip-hop genre has been so influential in Cote d'Ivoire. Or Nigeria, okay? You'd find that a small minority would probably have that kind of urban mentality. A very good 1% small minority. And the other 99% are grounded to their roots, okay? In all different aspects of music, but they're still grounded to their roots, you know? What then do we say about that 1% that has been influenced by an external influence. You know, we can apply it right back here in South Africa, you know. Post-apartheid, let's say pre-apartheid, everyone was listening to Mparanyana, Hugh Masekela, Hot Sticks Mabuze. They were the bee's knees, you know. You couldn't get anything better than that. Unless you're listening to like old school blues music from America or something. But it was quite rare because it's not how we've been grown up, you know, listening to. And then now you've got this post-apartheid, you've got this new urban kind of evolution kind of sprouting out. And here is a good majority of the youth dressing like yesterday's breakfast, all right? They've all been really influenced. We've lost our sense of direction. Why can't we still find men wearing, I don't know, Samson pants and looking really, really neat, you know, but still they're on the mic and there's just a beat going on? Because hip-hop is, my understanding, a beat with some poetry. Beat and poetry has always been there. It's just the influences as to how you produce those beats and poetries. Actually, it's not the battle of hip-hop, it's the battle of the beats and poetry and how they are being exposed to us or presented to the people. Just because we're hearing a different vibe from another country, it doesn't have to be the new Big Bang Theory in this country.
I beg to differ though, you know. Hip-hop is style, like style and everything. Basically, you know, that's what hip-hop is. That's why maybe people dress like that. It's not like an American thing really, because all the youths in this world, I know most of the youths actually embrace hip-hop and how hip-hop has dress, I understand. It's that identity thing, and I don't think hip-hop was created by anyone or a force behind hip-hop. Hip-hop is just something for black people. Those Americans are Americans, but they're black people. And the blackness in them is still there, you understand? So if we identify with them, or if we're growing up and it's something that you love, even going through, like as you were saying, like back then people used to play Umpalanyan and all that, but hip-hop has actually digging those crates again, understand? Pulling out those Umpalanyan and sampling them, using all that material. You see, the Ibram is it's like freedom time for the arts. It liberated the arts in a way, you understand? And there's a lot of positive things about hip-hop. It's not about dressing. And look at how even the dress code put certain of those black Americans on. I mean, after 250 years of slavery, that's what those black people came up with, and they can hold on to that. Which is beautiful.
The thing is,
and there's a lot of education in hip-hop. There's a lot of things, like even graffiti,
agree with you.
Style and everything. Style, it's all about style.
We agree with you, but now
style means out of appearance.
But we're not lost, you know what I'm saying? Hip-hop encourages people to read. Hip-hop encourages people to study and become deep. You know, like hip-hop makes you want to be deep. And that's the cool thing, because it's going to make you read. It's going to make you want to know your history. It's going to make... We got inspired a lot from hip-hop.
We understand it, but now the next step now. You see, that's what we're talking about. Okay, if like that's what it's supposed to do. It means hip-hop, when you come to South Africa, it's supposed to have a different perspective. You go to Cote d'Ivoire.
No, hip-hop will never have a different perspective in any country, but everything is hip-hop. It's like...
what is the common denominator? What is it that hip-hop in everywhere around the world, like what is
the thing about it,
what is it that it talks about? Like what is it about it that touches everyone?
I think the thing about it is a lot of African youths identify with whatever those Americans would be rapping about, you know, talking about the ghetto life, the hard life, because there are ghettos in Africa. There's poverty in Africa. They talk about poverty too, you know what I'm saying? So people identify with that. Young people identify with that because basically you listen to Sadat X and this is going on serious levels. You listen to Biggie Smalls is talking about women, you know what I'm saying, and what they can do to you. Understand? There's a lot of education and people identify with that. They talk about families. They talk about their dead friends. We also got dead friends.
Me, I'll be honest with you, Des.
There's a lot.
I've stopped listening to hip-hop.
Question is hip-hop a culture or music genre?
It's a mix of both.
It's a mix of both,
Because
right?
the music is a
No.
nature. Like,
No, because if you look at it, you're simulating something that is external to you. You take it as when it hits you, you're in high school. You're in high school. You hear Tupac join. Why do you identify with it?
So
Right?
for-
Is it the music that makes you want to listen to more, or is it what the context of it is?
Okay.
What do you think? What is it?
No, that's the question.
That's the question.
That's the question.
Can I try and
Ultimate-
decipher this? Let's say, for example, I'm fresh in high school, grade 8, and all I've been hearing or listening to is Barbie Girl in primary school, okay? Because what? I'm firstly in primary school, I started to identify with music. Before it was just the radio, and I didn't quite I didn't identify myself with particular artists, but now because there's within one room, all of us kind of have this unsaid agreement that we like Barbie Girl. It has a great influence on me. I will suddenly pick up by my heart rate that, this isn't a bad song. Next thing you know, I'm collecting every single Barbie and Ken album in a shop. Get to high school and suddenly there's first time I'm hearing Dead Prayers. This is something different. It actually really vocates something that the youth is talking about. Just remember that there's always a gap between generations, right? How I speak in high school has it plays a big role in how I'm going to speak in years to come. So if I'm going to suddenly be initiated as this hip hop head, because everyone is listening to Dead Prayers and I can feel, like this is the future, this is the bee's knees, there will come a time whereby I shall change that perspective because I've fallen into another social movement as to we're only going to listen to Brenda Fassie for the rest of our lives now.
Coming to your question.
You're kind of undermining it. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is when you say hip hop is a culture, right? You build cultures along the lines of common things that we identify with, right? After you finish identifying with common things, right, you carry on. I mean, hip hop, from my perspective, right, the way it started out for me in 1998, I was there, I'm in a club. I don't like this guy. I don't like that guy. But we are still there for the same form of music, right? Now, how do you go from it being music to being life?
When you apply what you hear.
You see what I'm saying?
When you apply what you hear, then
Yeah, that's why we can go around and shoot each other.
The thing is-
Shoot each other for fun. Like, yeah, because Tupac said so. It's if you take hip hop as just every other form of music, from the things that you sample from. Simple. You dig in the crates, you hear a sick ass sample, you're like, oh wait. But you listen to what the song is saying. If you listen to what the song is saying, it will lead you to another platform. So that way, you're not a hip hop head. You're a musician. You know what I'm saying? And you happen to do hip